Hello, good evening. We are broadcasting live from City Hall, from the City Council chambers, in this live coverage of the primary special state election, Super Tuesday. I'm Johan Rashivega.
I'm Natalia Munoz.
And we have the results of the elections on all the precincts in the city of Holyoke. We have been here since 8 p.m. when all the ballots closed officially, and around 8:30 we started to receive the first of the ballots here in City Hall, and throughout the following hour, little by little, all of them started to show up. Around 9:37 p.m., the last one being Precinct 6, we got all the results here, and then the city clerk proceeded to gather all the information, print out the tally, which is the information we have right here to share with you, and let you know the results of the election in Holyoke. Something interesting to look at is the voter turnout, Natalia. We had, I will say, a good turnout for this election.
Yep, 49%. And that means that there is a total of 26,874 people in Holyoke who are registered to vote in a city of about 40,000. And of those registered voters, 13,233 actually voted in these primaries.
And there were several elections to make. Of course, the biggest contender was the Democratic Party, and decide who will be the official candidate for the Democratic Party for the presidential run in November. And while this is going to be a long night before we know officially who this person is going to be, locally we have some results.
And locally we do have results. So starting with the Democrats, there were 6,093 votes cast for the Super Tuesday for the Democrats. And Senator Bernie Sanders is the winner with 2,359 votes, followed by Joe Biden, the former Vice President Joe Biden, who received 1,653 votes, and Elizabeth Warren received 1,092 votes. And we remember that Elizabeth Warren, it was here in City Hall, upstairs actually, just over a year ago, when she announced that she was considering running for president, and she would wait until after the midterm elections of 2018 to make her decision, and then she made it and ran for president. The results right now, Johan, is a reflection so far of where Senator Warren of Massachusetts is, even in Massachusetts. Right now, Joe Biden is leading the vote with almost 30% of the votes counted here in Massachusetts, followed by Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren is in third place so far, but it's only 30%, so that may change by the end of the night.
Exactly.
But right here in Holyoke, the votes are in. It was Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and Elizabeth Warren.
And it comes surprising where you can see how much of power and strength Senator Warren was able to carry from the announcement of her campaign. And it seemed to be a strong contender and possibly an easy win for the city of Holyoke at least. And I'm looking at the numbers here, and it's interesting to see how Ward 7, Precinct 1, was the one that had the largest number of votes for Senator Warren, 184. Not even
Right.
A number that you will see compared to other of the candidates running for the same. It's just interesting to see this result, and I will say maybe the recent announcement of some of the other candidates dropping off the race tipped the scale to this outcome.
Yeah, definitely. The departure of the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, Pete Buttigieg, and of Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, they both immediately endorsed Joe Biden. And you're right, I think that definitely influenced how people voted.
So that's the mayor interest in terms of the Democratic Party, who was the winner in the city of Holyoke. Right now, if we take a look at the numbers, and we are looking at 39% of the reporting. Right now, Joe Biden is leading with 29 delegates and 33.8%, followed by Senator Bernie Sanders with 21 delegates and 27.5%. In third place, Senator Elizabeth Warren with only 9 delegates and 19.9%. Is actually the same order as we are seeing locally, the reflection of this being in Massachusetts. These
Right.
are the numbers, the
Right.
preliminary numbers showing the trends happening in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts at this time. And it's only 39% of the reporting in the state. But even nationwide is quite similar.
Yeah.
This number showing that, again, Joe Biden is leading the race.
Yeah, and also locally, if we speak about the Republican Party, Donald Trump wins with 604 votes here in Holyoke. Let's see, the people who came in second and third place, there's such distant second and third places.
Yeah, it's such a minimal
It's like 9 votes.
representation.
Yeah.
And again, taking a look to the numbers of voters who supported presidential candidate and incumbent president Donald Trump, it shows that Ward 5, Precinct 1 had the largest number of voters, and the same is for Ward 7 and Ward 3. That's the numbers where the name of Donald Trump received the large number of votes
Yeah.
in the city of Holyoke.
Yeah, but, right, in every single ward, people voted for him, but yes, you're right. Those were the wards where he received the most votes, for 604 total. And in the seat to replace Donald Humison, the former state senator from Westfield, the winner there is John Velis, who was state representative out of Westfield. Now he's going to be the state senator. He received 5,064 votes.
Mind you, he was running unopposed as well, but
Yeah.
it's good to see that he still got the vote
Yeah.
of the people, so it shows that he has support. And
Yeah, yeah. A
Is-
lot of people voted for him. I think he's the top vote getter. I'm trying to. He received more votes than Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden or anyone else. Actually, he's the top vote getter for Holyoke. The Libertarian Party, they 21 ballots were cast for the Libertarian Party, and for the Rainbow Party, 10 ballots were cast for them. But that's interesting that John Velis, State Rep John Velis, 5,000 votes. Nobody got 5,000 votes anywhere. So, in terms of local election, people were very tuned into who is going to be the state senator for the Second Hamden district, which includes Holyoke.
And coming back to the turnout in overall the city is a good number. It shows in here a 49.24%.
That's really good.
It's a really good.
Yeah.
However, it still shows some disappointment towards the wards number 2 N1, being Ward 2, Precinct 2, the one with the lowest number of votes overall throughout the city, with only 342 out of 1820.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not even, right, so that's just under 19% of the people in Ward 2, Precinct 2 who voted. But in Ward 1, Precinct 1, 25% of the registered voters voted. So there are 1,831 voters, but only 464 people voted.
These are the type of numbers that raise some questions. Why this is happening? What is the reason for this trend to continue like that? What creates this lack of engagement, civic engagement, in such particular area of the city? Something to keep exploring and analyzing throughout this year, where we're going to have more elections coming, and hopefully this will show at least that this trend that we are seeing today, with a good turnout, continues to be as such for the upcoming election, having then the primary for the 5th Hamden, and of course the general election of November.
Yep.
So these are the numbers, these are the results. We will be sharing this information with more details, so whoever is into scrutinizing numbers with detail, they will have the opportunity to look at them. Also, the city clerk's office will be posting the results on the City Hall website, holyoke.org, and we will be sharing this information as well. The most important thing to celebrate today, regardless of the outcome of the winners, is that people are voting.
People are voting. People believe in the democratic process and civic engagement, and that's positive. And even now, as the coronavirus, hysteria or concern continues to grow, people still came out and voted. So thank you all for coming out to vote.
Yeah, and for sure that energy of being able to do this, and to invite others, friends, family, or just your networks on social media, to be able to see that energy and feel motivated to say, yeah, let's go out, let's vote. And fortunately, we also had a nice weather today, even though with a little rain towards the late hours of the day. But I think that also helped to have a good turnout for this Super Tuesday election.
Yeah, the very mild weather. And are we still in winter? Is it still winter?
Technically, we are.
Okay. So, yeah.
So, like we were saying, there's going to be a long night while we wait for the final results of the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. We will be sharing in our online presence, Holyoke Media, on Facebook and Instagram, some of these numbers. And we keep inviting you to share your thoughts, opinions, and ways for have as a community a way to keep everybody engaged in the local politics and how important they are, and how every one of us are important in this process as well. To do so, to make it happen, and to be able to communicate, to exchange ideas and opinions respectfully, and understanding that this is what democracy is made of.
Awesome.
Well, this is our coverage of the Super Tuesday election. These are the results from here, the City Council chambers in City Hall in Holyoke, Massachusetts. I'm Johan Roshi Vega.
And I'm Natalia Munoz.
Have a good evening. You're watching Holyoke Media.